Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Not you. I'm talking to our
loyal listeners.
fearless listeners.
Well, welcome to Thank God I'm Atheist,
The podcast.
Ooh, hey.
Hey, we both said it.
Yeah, we did. Some ways to keep in touch with us, of course, are on Twitter. You can follow us at TGIAtheist.
Yeah.
You can email us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Sure.
And, of course, there's our wonderful voicemail box.
Yeah.
And that is 424-666-TGIA. That's 424-666-8442. And, yeah, that's a Beverly Hills number.
Yeah. And surely people can remember that.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you really have to remember is 424, and then the rest is 666, and thank God I'm atheist.
Well, I just like that it's a Beverly Hills number, and they actually have a 666 prefix.
I know. Wow. That is a good point. It does make you wonder how many people in Beverly Hills have been like, oh, no.
Well,
I am Elizabeth Taylor. You will not give me this number. I am not going to. No. I will buy I will buy a zip code so that I don't have to have this number.
yeah, absolutely. And of course, the whole purpose of staying in touch is to give us feedback.
Yeah.
To rant if you want to.
We want to know what you think.
Yeah. And let us
Talk
know
to
what you
us.
think. Is there something you want us talking about? Is there something cool you ran across? Just let us know.
Yeah.
We love to hear from you.
Drop us a line.
Yeah, so that's that part of the
that,
whole
sure.
thing. Let me get that out of the way.
Let's shuffle papers.
Dan, what are you talking about?
Shuffle some papers.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll do that. Well, I think some fun things have been happening in the world this week.
Yeah, well, we still have Republicans trying to argue with each other about who should be the next non-Obama president.
Yeah, that is the only point.
Yeah.
Republicans running this time.
Yeah. Just get rid of that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, you got this one guy who's been the front runner. Maybe not so much now. Newt's kind of pulling into the lead. And he seems to be holding on to it.
Yeah, but he'll...
You think he'll mess it up too?
Yeah, they'll grow tired of it. Because let's face it, it's Newt Gingrich. Nobody really likes the man.
Right.
They haven't liked the man in a while.
Well, but they've got their choice between a pretty dickish adulterer and a Mormon.
Oh, God.
Did you like how I had a little growl in my voice when I said that?
Yeah, no. Well,
Mormon.
Every time I think the word, that's how it plays in my head. It's actually your voice, Dan.
Yeah, I hope that many of our listeners will now adopt the same practice. Anyway, so here's what I wanted to bring up. Was in the Jerusalem Post, which is, according to themselves, Israel's best-selling English daily and most read English website.
Oh, hey.
So,
stick
that in your pipe.
So, yeah, okay.
Or something. Anyway,
I'll do that.
Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, I assume that's how you say Boteach. I'm not even worried about... I'm not even worried about Shmuley. I'm just going to call him Rabbi Shmuley.
Sure, that works. Actually, I think
that's what he goes
that
by.
is what people call him. He also goes by America's Rabbi.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, it is in the Jerusalem Post. I don't think he actually lives in Jerusalem.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think he just wrote for them.
He's got his own website too.
Yeah,
I'm not going to plug it though.
Rabbi Shmuley.
It's just Shmuley.com.
Oh, okay.
Or you can Twitter him at Rabbi Shmuley.
Hey.
There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, Rabbi Shmuley decided to take a stand against all these people who were shitting on the Mormons.
This is beautiful, yeah.
He said, well, the headline is, "Are Mormons any weirder than the rest of us?"
I don't know.
Well, they got... Who was it that we were talking...
You know what? I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to say I am going to take the position of yes, they are. But I want to hear what Rabbi Shmuley has to say.
Okay. So Shmuley is talking about. I mean, basically, he just goes into, all of these evangelicals are getting all up in Romney's grill about being a Mormon, and he just says, the evangelicals. Is it any weirder than the evangelicals believing that a man born of a virgin was the Son of God, only to die on a cross and then be resurrected? And then he says, with all due respect, should I do it with a little Yiddish sort of thing?
Please.
Okay. With all due respect, that's not exactly the most rational belief either.
You might have just derailed me, Dan.
I'm sorry, I started to read it and I was just like, there is no way I can do this any other way.
All right. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Anyway,
Okay.
and then he says, and Orthodox Jews are no better, believing in the Red Sea parting and donkeys talking to folks and whatever.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think he makes the right point, which is, everybody's religious beliefs are equally bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then he tries to turn the evolutionary thing into the same deal.
Yeah, I really love that part of the article.
Yeah, so I mean, he goes into the whole intelligent life somehow evolved capriciously and accidentally from inorganic matter, even though the possibility of complex organisms evolving without guidance is mathematically near impossible.
Yeah, but see, the problem there is I've got to you put that near impossibility and put that on a scale and try to balance that out with the utter absurdity of believing in any of these tales.
In a magic daddy in the sky.
It's just like, I'll take my chances with the math.
Yeah.
I'll take the slim chances on evolution.
It's one of those things where at very least we have to acknowledge that mathematically low though the possibility may be, it's still a possibility.
Yeah.
Whereas there's nothing in our observable universe that could be considered possible about God.
No.
About a deity.
I know, right? Yeah, it's truly amazing that he tries to do that. But what I think is also equally interesting is that he's really just saying, it's what we're used to, right? Like, he's like, I'm used to some weird stuff in the Old Testament, and you folks, you got some weird stuff in that New Testament,
right?
And it's, I think you said it really well earlier that there's this gentleman's agreement.
Indeed,
that there's this, I believe something stupid, and so do you, but we're all on the same team of faith. Right. We're all in the same thing. It's these atheists over here.
Well, and it's not just...
And he's trying to be generous to the atheists, but you actually read the article, he's not being generous to the atheists.
No, not at all. But I think more important than the attempted generosity towards atheists, I think what's more important than that is the fact that... sorry, I just had to adjust my mic.
That's fine.
Is the fact that I think the gentleman's agreement is more about... Because you remember growing up how... It was absolutely unheard of to not be respectful of other people's religion. You have to respect other religions. And now when I look at it, what I see is because that's so ingrained in me that when I stopped being religious, I still like had this thing. Oh, I need to respect. I need to be respectful.
Well, I'm a classic kumbaya liberal. I just want everybody, let's just hold hands.
Right.
But what I've been really wrestling with lately is the fact that, well, no, I'm also an atheist.
Right.
And I really don't think that my worldview that does not include God is analogous and is comparable to one that does.
Right.
I don't think it is playing on the same...
Not at all.
On the same field.
I don't think that it is, and I don't. And what I finally came to was that I don't have to respect these beliefs.
No, especially because some of them actually. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers earlier today at lunch about. Well, he was talking about Islam, and he was like, and he was like, Frank, what does Islam mean? And I was like, peace, right? And no, that's something else in Islam that means peace. Islam itself means submit. And so he went off on this longer sort of thought of, that's what this is about. This religion specifically is about you giving up your hopes, your dreams, your desires, your humanity, all of that, and submit.
Yeah.
Submit to this one
Your fashion sense, you got to give up.
Yeah, you
There's
do.
a lot you got to give up.
You really do. You really do.
Your favorite bacon products.
You do. Yeah. Submit to a non-bacon world.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, I did.
I know you did.
But mine is no meat world. But anyways, and I was, you know, it is this thing. Like I have this very knee-jerk reaction as a liberal.
Yeah.
That we can all live together. It can be multicultural. This country can, you know, we can all just get along.
Right.
And I'm really starting to believe that there are actually dangerous groups.
Yeah.
I'm willing to get along with certain ones. You know, I'm willing to get along with the Anglicans. They're harmless. The Unitarians, they're harmless. You know, but
are they always going to be harmless?
The Unitarians.
Well, Unitarians, even at their most harmful, they're so ineffectual that there wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. They just
No, they're cute. I like the unis, but yeah, I'm with you. Have you read Sam Harris's book, An End of Faith, The End of Faith? An End to Faith, one of those.
I believe I've read parts of it. I don't think I finished it.
He has a long chapter about Islam where he just.
I think I've read that part.
He shreds.
Well,
Islam.
God is not great. Hitchens does a nice little job with Islam as well.
Well, it's funny when you allow your brain to open up to the possibility of like not having to respect everybody's beliefs. You start to actually consider like. What effect are these beliefs having on society?
Yeah, and on the individuals.
Yeah.
You know, like one thing that I can take from my Mormon upbringing is a part of the Book of Mormon that talks about judging things by their fruits. Right. And it's this very sort of Mormon passage. Well, it's in the Book of Mormon, so it's very Mormon. But you know, it talks about, you know, you don't know until, you know, what exactly something is until you see its fruits. And the whole idea there is, what does it produce?
Right.
And I'm sorry,
what's coming out of it?
I look at a lot of different religions, and I have to say, they're not really producing something that I want in my world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
You know, and that's a hard stance to take. And it's one that could really piss some people off.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say.
You know, that's an interesting thing.
As somebody who also, I will say, 3 episodes ago in our inaugural episode was like, no, I like hijabs.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's clothing. That's not a religion.
That's not a religion. Yeah, thank you.
That is, you can wear whatever you want. I still think we need to get back to the hats.
Yeah.
Anyway, but one interesting thing that leads us to is if we're not respecting them, they're doubly not respecting us.
No, that's definitely true.
So there's a that was a nice segue. I'm really glad I was able to pull that out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. So what have you got that you just segued to?
Well, what I'm segueing to is from the Register Guard, which we are thinking is a paper in
Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
It's definitely in Oregon. I'm pretty sure it's Eugene.
Let us know if that's not right.
Yeah,
people.
That's one way you could use our
because
phone number.
We're too lazy to Google.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I just can't make myself do it.
Okay. So, but anyway, so the headline is Study, Atheists Face Bias.
Yeah.
Which is something actually, you know, it's funny. I never really noticed it's for like the first probably 7 or 8 years that I was an atheist. I faced almost no bias. I didn't catch any flack. But, you know, again, I wasn't walking around with a sign that said I'm atheist or anything. Right. But according to this article, if you...
What?
I can't even read the opening line. The opening line just kills me. Okay, the whole article is about, you know, a study that was done at the University of Oregon that found that atheists are less trusted than people with many other beliefs or values. I don't know that that's news to anybody, frankly.
Right.
Does that surprise you at all?
When I hear it, no, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have just like conjured up that sentence, but I think that I think if you say that to me, yeah, that rings true.
Right. And I like what one of the professors had to say about it, which was that he said, quote, "You have to say this is a prejudice because there is no empirical basis that atheists are any less trustworthy." Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, he doesn't mention this, but as a matter of fact, there's a lot of evidence that is empirical that would point, that doesn't conclusively prove, but would point to in the direction that atheists are actually more trustworthy. To wit, there's a study of Americans in prison, and the atheist population in prison is significantly lower than the atheist population of the population, or of the population as a whole.
Large, yeah.
Which doesn't prove anything, but it does lead one to believe that and most sociologists follow this line, and there are other evidences for this as well, but that atheists are more pro-social than believers. But I do have to read this opening line for this thing because it's killing me. If you're an atheist, you might want to keep that to yourself. If you want people to trust you, a new study suggests.
Well, I know. Boy, I kind of just want to say, screw you.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like seriously, that's how you're going to lead this thing?
Right. If you're a black person, you might want to cover up.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone know.
Exactly, right? Like,
because there's prejudice out there.
No, of course not.
No, it's ridiculous.
And so they're actually like, this is why it is so important. We need to just keep coming back to this theme over and over and over again, which is the whole atheists need to be speaking up.
Yes.
Atheists need to be joining forces, and because we don't get together for church, we don't get together. We tend not to.
We don't have meetings.
We don't have meetings. Yeah. And so we're disorganized. We don't do anything.
Actually, I think some people do have meetings, but
yeah, there are.
You and I don't go to them.
No, we don't. No, instead we do a podcast and we get together with all of our atheist
But the
friends.
other thing is, I mean, part of the deal about being an atheist is that it's not a belief.
Right.
It's not like we're rallying around a belief.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that unites atheists is that we all don't have a belief that's very prevalent in the rest of society.
Yeah.
But that doesn't tell you anything about what we actually do believe.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you know what that reminded me of? What that first line reminded me of?
Yeah. What's that?
It's this concept, because I think what it bespeaks is a general ignorance about who we are and what the real issues are that are playing out here. And it reminded me of a thing, and I posted this probably a few years back on thankgodimatheist.com on a blog. It was a video, because somebody here hacked into one of those changing road signs that changes all of the words flash at you. And it was cute. They put up a thing that said, "It's official, there is no God."
On a road sign.
Yeah.
Which, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, like, people are driving by, and they're seeing this message seemingly from the Utah Department of Transportation.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. I like that.
But let's pull this up, because what I wanted to show, what I wanted to talk about is not that story. That story is just, to me, just kind of fun and playful and whatever. But how they discuss the story on the local news.
Someone spread a message against religion this morning by tampering with technology. Sandra Yee tells us the person used a construction sign to send the message. Sandra.
That's right, Bruce, and the construction sign is right over there. The message you see flashing tonight is the proper one. It tells drivers to expect delays in this construction area. But early this morning, the sign displayed a message about God.
It's just not something that you necessarily want to see every day painted on billboards or even at construction signs like this.
The words and lights caught his attention, a road sign flashing a message that had nothing to do with construction.
I just had to take a photo.
He took these pictures. You can see at 3:45 this morning, the sign on Foothill Boulevard was lit up with a message that's anti-religion.
It said, "It's official, God does not exist."
Ironically, the sign sits next to an LDS church.
Either someone did it as a prank or someone did it as a malicious attack on someone's theology.
Whatever the reason, many drivers saw it. Some called the Utah.
That's enough. That's enough. Oh my God.
It sits next to an LDS church. I mean, like, it didn't. That prankster did not care for 1 second that it was sitting in front of
He
the
didn't
LDS
move
church.
the sign.
Right.
The sign was there.
The sign was there. He saw his opportunity. He went in. He reprogrammed it. And
But
yeah,
the answer-
I'm not
but-
going to say he should be reprogramming it
No.
because it's a road sign
Right.
that's warning people of hazard
Right, yeah.
coming up.
But the thing that kills me is the lead into it is, what's his name? The anchor guy saying,
I don't remember his name.
Terry Dick, whatever. Anyway, his name, what he said was, there's a message against religion.
Right.
And then later she says,
How is that a message against religion?
Right.
It says no God. It doesn't say a message. There's nothing about religion. It doesn't say,
right.
you know,
She's-
they're interpreting it as, okay, this thing's out in front of a Mormon church, whatever. But, like, no, it didn't say that. The person driving by, I know the stretch of road they're talking about. Really? There's an LDS church right there? Like,
yeah. But even if it were, like, if the guy, if whoever did this, and we're assuming it's male,
right.
for what, I guess, because we wish it was us who did this.
Right.
But whoever did it was, like, even if they targeted that church, they were like, perfect, this is the one I want to do it to because it's right next to a church. Even at that, the phrase, it's official, there is no God, is not an attack.
Doesn't say anything about Mormonism. Doesn't say anything about any specific group.
There's it's not against anything. Yeah. It's not anti-religion, as the little cub reporter put it. Mm-hmm. That's anti-religion. No, it's none of these things.
Right.
But this is society at large when they are talking about atheists. If you say the words, there is no God,
it's an attack.
That's an attack. But if they put up, I mean, it's all these places where they're trying to put it, where atheists have put up signs or put up like buses and stuff.
Well, what about, I mean, this is an article that I wanted to share.
Oh, well then share it.
Which has to do with a town in Pennsylvania rejecting an atheist sign that had been sent to them it was a banner that was to be included in their holiday display.
Right.
Because apparently in the past, this town had only done a nativity.
Oh.
And this group...
Did they have a live baby Jesus?
Not that I don't know. But it's... What group was it? They're out of Wisconsin. It's Freedom from a Religion Foundation.
Right.
And they...
freedom from religion?
Freedom from religion.
As opposed to freedom of?
I know.
That means that they don't want religion.
It's so sad, Dan. Mm-hmm. It really is. Excuse me. They have the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Kind of gave them some trouble, I guess, last year or a couple of years ago, whenever it was.
Some grief.
And said, if you're just doing a nativity, you're endorsing Christianity.
True that.
And so now this town's Christmas display, oops, I goofed there. Their holiday display, even though we all know what it really is, has some displays about Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, has some secular symbols like Santa Claus, a snowman, a Christmas tree, which isn't really all that secular, but that's okay.
Well, they can claim it is, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Santa... That's for everyone.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with Christianity.
To do with Christianity. None. Nothing about that.
No.
Oh God. Anyways, but
where did you find this article?
This is on Fox News.
Oh, well, there you go.
But anyways,
those secular.
But anyways, so the banner that they sent says, "At this season of the winter solstice, may reason prevail. There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds." Okay, so they are...
Wow.
They are just pushing these people's buttons.
Honestly,
they really are. Like, God bless you, atheists.
Did they put pictures of penises on it too? I mean, come on. They are like,
it's like in a cross form. They were honoring the Christians, So sure, yeah.
Oh my
why not?
gosh.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I agree with that statement.
But get this. So the mayor, totally not happy. Okay. They refuse to hang up this banner because, quote, it violates the First Amendment. It's endorsing atheism.
Well, now, wait a minute. Okay. I hadn't thought of this until right now.
Uh-huh.
Does it violate the First Amendment to endorse atheism?
I don't think it does because we say there's no God.
That's
There's
not
no
a religion.
We're not a religion.
That's not endorsing a religion.
No, it's not.
It is taking a religious perspective.
It's taking a stand. No, it's taking a stand against
Taking
religious.
but it's taking a stand vis-a-vis religion, is what I'm saying. I don't know. I think that's an interesting question.
I mean, I
Let's
can
get
see
some constitutional lawyers in here.
Yeah, but just my way of thinking is no. I to take an atheist stance, which is no God,
Right.
and to take that stance in a public sphere is exactly the stance that we need to be taking in order for our secular system to work. For our institutions to work and to be fair to everybody, there can be no God involved.
No God involved in government, but
Right.
that's different than government claiming that there's no God.
Well, no, but this is this.
But
government,
either way,
this town is they're making no claims about God. They have they have this they have all these different symbols out there,
Right.
So that they're not making any specific claim.
right, but they are.
We know they are, but they're working all this stuff, and so they get this one little thing in there that goes just a little too far.
It goes
Right.
a lot too far.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if they came to me and asked me to craft that, obviously these freedom from religion people saw an opportunity to be dicks
Right.
in hopes of giving them something to reject so that they can sue.
Here's how I would reject the atheists. They
Okay.
don't have a holiday.
Right.
They don't have a holiday that's being
We
celebrated
would
in
be
this
happy
time.
to put up lights or do whatever you need to do for your holiday.
But
when
you
is
don't
that? When is that? That's Moblember the 49th? When is it? You don't have a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the grounds that they have. But it has
Yeah,
nothing
but then
to do with violating
you know what that
the
would
First
be, though?
Amendment.
Inviting us to have a holiday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which we should do.
Which we
need
Okay.
a seasonal
All right,
holiday.
everybody, listen. I want you all to write in, call in, do whatever you've got to do, nominate a date, and give us a reason why we're celebrating on that date.
Right. And it's not, don't call in with Festivus.
Ew. Yeah, that's
That's a Seinfeld thing.
yeah, I know. That's dumb.
Yeah. But I know somebody
If someone
out
else
there-
has already done this shtick, it's not your shtick. Don't do it. Bring in your own shtick.
Right. Right.
I think that'd be great. Yeah, please email us or whatever and nominate a day for our holiday.
I love
That's
it.
brilliant.
I love it. It is the holiday season.
'Tis
Let's
the
have
season.
our own little
Just
season.
hear those sleigh bells
Ring
ringling.
ding ding ling ding 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 ling ding. Oh wait, I
ding, ding,
just
dong.
probably broke some copyright, whatever.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Oh,
We're on the interwebs. There's no law.
well, not in Switzerland. Have you heard that whole thing? It's
Switz-
totally okay. Look up Switzerland's stance on copyright infringement. It's pretty awesome.
Nice.
But anyways,
Maybe we need to have our hosting servers there.
in Switzerland.
In Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I got people. I got Swiss people.
Well, I have something else that kind of
Yeah.
got my goat.
Oh, I love it when your goat gets got.
Yeah. And this involves well, actually, let's just play the audio. Let's just hear what one Mr. Rick Perry has to say in a new campaign ad that just got posted, I believe, yesterday. On,
Do you know where
his
he's running
YouTube.
this ad? Is it just a YouTube ad or is he running it in
That
certain
I
markets?
don't know, but it's out there.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen.
Okay.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Christian. But you don't need to be in the pew every Sunday to know that there's something wrong in this country when gays can serve openly in the military, but our kids can't openly celebrate Christmas or pray in school. As president, I'll end Obama's war on religion. and I'll fight against liberal attacks on our religious heritage. Faith made America strong. It can make her strong again. I'm Rick Perry.
Do they teach that accent to Texas politicians? Like,
absolutely.
Like, where does that come from?
I know. It's
Georgie boy.
And what's weird is that George picked it up for fake. Like,
oh, yeah. He was from, like, Connecticut or whatever. Yeah, and
wasn't he born
at like, Andover and Yale. And yeah. No, like...
But he does a great... You know what it is? George W. has been doing a Rick Perry impression this whole time. We're all saying that Rick Perry sounds like W. No.
Yeah, he got it from somewhere. And boy, Rick Perry...
He's just sopping in it.
Wow, yeah, but what do you think about that? That is something else, isn't it?
It is a sad day in America when queers can go around in camo.
Boy, oh boy.
Honestly, really, is he really...
I don't know who he... Well, I do know who he's trying to appeal to, but...
The only people who will still vote for him. He's already got them.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I don't know. But
is he trying to, like, split the Bachman vote? I mean,
what is
honestly,
she running at these days?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, my God.
Who does he think he's picking up with that?
Yeah. Speaking of Bachman, did you see that video of the little kid that goes up to her and whispers in her ear?
Yeah,
and they totally baited her and whatnot. And it wasn't that great of a video, but the look on her face, it was one of those deer in headlights, and then she flashed this icy look at the mom.
What did the kid say? The kid said, "My mom's a lesbian and doesn't need to be fixed," or something like that.
But and the kid's just like whispering.
Because clearly he did not want to be there. He didn't want to say it.
It was a total pawn. This kid was
we will give you the Legos if you do what we want you to do. I thought it was a kind of a shitty move to do to the kid.
It was a shitty move, and it really, like at that age, it is the exact same thing as the Mormons with their kid up at fast and testimony meeting, right?
Right.
And they're like whispering in their ears and saying,
what you get is this. I like to bear my testimony that I know this church is true, that Joseph Smith is a true prophet. I love my mom and dad. I love Big Bird. Nancy Cardamom.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing, but from the gay perspective, and that doesn't help anybody. If you ask me.
But it was interesting seeing Bachman with that look on her face.
She did not like it.
She said nothing. Smart.
She said nothing.
That was probably the right move.
One of the smarter moves she's made.
Because she can't. There's nothing that can come out of her brain that could possibly be an okay response in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, this Perry guy. But what? Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Who was it that was saying this? It was you that was talking about somebody else saying that this is the death throes of the religious of religious society. Was that you?
No.
Oh, there was somebody.
Me.
Somebody was saying that's what this is, and that truly is what this kind of feels like. I mean, religion is bucking and kicking something fierce right now.
Oh, you know what? That was me. That was. It may not have been like, I think that was a response. You were leading into something. Yeah, I was talking about that. And I think it was one of our friends who chimed in with, this is obviously the death throes. That was death throes was somebody else's terminology for what I was talking about.
Right, yeah.
No, yeah.
But I think that may be what we're looking at. Yeah. If you look at world trends.
Yeah.
And the U.S. is usually trailing, 50 to 75 years behind Europe. But they do whatever Europe does. Yeah, and Europe is now almost, it's
ridiculous. I didn't want to talk about it officially today on the podcast, but just I was
I'm ruining everything.
I know, but I was looking at the some results of the British census. And just some of the numbers, and I don't have it in front of me because I wasn't going to talk about it. But it's something like it's like 50%. If I'm trying to remember this pie chart, 50% claim no religious affiliation.
Right.
50%.
That doesn't mean they don't have a God belief.
Exactly. That's not what that means. But 50%
that's huge.
are not affiliating.
And I think up in Scandinavia, it's like 50% are atheists.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like it's a
yeah.
they Europe is the God is draining out of Europe.
Yeah.
And of course God drains southwardly. Mm-hmm. So there's still quite a bit of God down in
you get closer to the Mediterranean.
in your Spains,
you get
you're
surrounded by something in that water. Something in that Mediterranean water.
Yeah, don't go swimming in there.
Actually, Spain though, Spain is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Spain is actually, it's been only like, it's been in less than one generation, and that country has fled from any sort of like Catholicism.
Oh yeah.
I mean, which has led them to like.
Well,
nothing,
and Catholicism for the longest time, unless you're a widow who wears only black every day, Catholicism for most people is a kind of haphazard practice at best.
Right, but really,
So, it's not much of a step to just go.
People are really coming out.
Yeah.
And
oh
saying,
yeah,
no,
and that's
I
true.
Don't affiliate
No, that's true.
anymore. And not following with the traditions that people just would naturally have followed. You know, they're not having their kids baptized. They're not going
Right.
through that sort of process of Catholicism.
And that is a big deal.
That is a really, really, really big deal. But nonetheless, yeah, the Brits and so forth and so on. And so you have the Americans, the religious right in
I'm
America.
one of them.
Yes. And you have you have these conservative religious types in this country who are terrified. They see the trend. They know what's going on. They know even our
kids.
latest results
Yeah.
in the Pew research that shows that 1 in 4 of the millennials are not
Don't give a
claiming
shit.
any sort of religious affiliation.
They're honey badgers.
You know, they are. Honey badger don't give a shit. Yeah, no, but you know, Gen X is 1 in 5 that doesn't affiliate, and so they're seeing this sort of downward trend of religious affiliation, and they are terrified, and it's why they are. If anybody reads The Nation, you know where I'm getting my talking points. But they are. they are. You know, they're
uncomfortable.
They are very uncomfortable with this.
Yeah.
And they are.
It's going to turn into a nation of murderers.
Absolutely.
And thieves.
But there's a reason why they're targeting our youth. There's a reason why they want prayers back in the schools. There's a reason why they don't want abortion to be available. There's a reason why they want
get that evolution
out of the schools, or at least creationism taught side by side.
Right. As a valid,
as a
scientific,
which it cannot be.
Right. No.
But nonetheless,
the
there's
watchmaker.
a reason why
Don't you remember
those
the
are
watchmaker?
they're very intent on getting onto school boards.
Yeah.
This is a concerted effort. And boy, I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist.
They're pulling their kids out of school.
They're pulling their kids out of school.
I don't have the figures here, but I'm going to ruffle some papers and make it sound like I'm looking something up. 99% of homeschooled children are homeschooled because their parents have religious concerns about school.
Yeah,
that may not be the correct number.
I think that number you just pulled is probably wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you, but that is a huge trend. Is because yeah, I mean,
no, you're absolutely right. I mean,
because they don't
all
teach Jesus in the schools. I mean, my sister-in-law almost did that.
Really?
She considered homeschooling her kids, and her kids are little devils, and I love them to death.
Right.
But she would have committed suicide.
Right.
If she had done that. But she
Right.
thought she was supposed to, because Jesus isn't there. And I was just like, no, Jesus. You do Jesus at home, and they do math.
They do everything else.
And it's free, and you can you can have your time in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell she wanted to so much, but the Jesus thing, and that's a Mormon. Mormons aren't normally like that.
No, yeah.
She's a fanatic, though.
There is definitely a wing of Mormonism that is like that.
Yeah,
there definitely is. And I think you get down more like your Utah counties. If they didn't have just complete control of Utah County,
right,
and the schools, and
there are Mormon private schools. Did you know that? Non-accredited Mormon.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Andrea's ex Shane went to one of those.
Shush.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't. I had no. I figured there'd probably be like a little Mormon school somewhere, but that's crazy that there's like that they don't even bother getting accredited.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Which means that that's just some sort of whacked out crazy school. Are they actually teaching things that need to be taught?
I guess,
like your math and your science.
Yeah, I think so.
Because here's the thing. Okay,
we can. How many stripling warriors? If I have one stripling, if 12 stripling warriors go to,
yeah, how many?
How many make it to Zarahemla?
I don't know, but I'd sure like those stripling warriors.
I know you do.
The freedmen.
The
Book of Mormon.
Those of you who are non-Mormons who didn't grow up with the imagery that we got.
Freiberg, not Friedman.
Freiberg, yeah. There was a painter named Freiberg who depicted all of these scenes from the Book of Mormon. And you can see them prominently displayed if you visit Salt Lake's, not the temple grounds, but across the street from the temple, the big meganacle, the conference center.
Yeah.
These paintings are prominently displayed, but they are, boy, these men in these paintings are.
I was turned on as a kid.
They are.
I was totally
beefy guys. These guys are. I mean, this is.
I don't think I ever went so far as to like masturbate from pictures from the Book of Mormon. I was tempted though.
I'll bet you were.
I was really tempted. I don't think I ever got that far with it.
And what's funny is that there are women in some of these pictures, but they're always like fading into the background, and it's
mousy.
Yeah. This guy liked the muscular boys. We're just gonna throw it out there. We're not gonna draw any conclusions.
No. I would never. But he was. Here we go. He was an admirer of the male physique. Does that work?
He was at that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's deniable.
I remember the forearms on this one, like very specifically.
Yeah, like halfway to Popeye.
Yeah, no, it was
these guys
ridiculous.
These guys, Nephi worked out.
Oh yeah, he had
he had
a trainer.
Yeah,
he totally had a trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish Nephi was my trainer. Yummy.
Oh.
Anyways, let's see. What else have we got here, Dan?
I don't know. Do you want to? Hey, play that other Rick Perry thing.
Oh, the other one.
What was that one?
That one's just.
You got to remind me.
Another ad. It's just about faith. So let's
just listen to that.
When you run for president, you get a bunch of questions about your faith. People want to know what drives you, how you make decisions. Now, some liberals say that faith is a sign of weakness. Well, they're wrong. I think we all need God's help. America's greatest leaders have been people of strong faith, strong values. That makes for a strong America. I'm Rick Perry. I'm not ashamed to talk about my faith, and I approve this message.
I know who he sounds like. Matthew McConaughey. Like, listen to this part again. Listen to this part. It's right in the middle somewhere.
I think we all need God's help.
God's help.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
There's I mean, he's a Texan. McConaughey, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Dazed and Confused. They found him. He was just some kid that they found that they thought was funny.
Right.
And they put him in the movie.
And they're right. He was funny in that movie.
He was funny, yep.
Yeah, that Perry guy, that's the thing. First of all, he's playing off of something that the Republicans have done effectively since the 80s. And it's been their biggest triumph, I think, in the history of their party, having not studied their party very strongly. But what it is that they managed to convince people that Republican equals good Christian, and Democrat or liberal equals, at best, bad Christian.
But most likely atheist.
But most likely anti-Christian.
Anti-Christian, yeah.
Antichrist.
Ooh. No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they've called Obama Antichrist. I've heard that a number of times.
They have.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That guy's a Christian.
Yeah, you're onto something.
Yeah.
Well, also, did we talk about this last time? We might have, with the whole that Christians have done a really good job with saying, you're not Baptist, you're Christian. You're not this. You're Christian.
Right.
You're
I
not
don't think we
this."
talked about this.
Yeah.
I got really hip to this when I saw a Penn Jillette video on the Big Think, and he went through this. He said the smartest thing that they ever did was to invent the word Christian as a catch-all, so that they don't have to pit the Methodists against the Baptists against the evangelicals
because
against
they used to not talk about their faith.
Right.
You didn't talk about faith in American politics. You just didn't do it.
Maybe that was the glory days. You know when Fox News presents the 50s as though they were like the best time ever on the planet?
Yeah.
At very least, we wouldn't have had to hear about our candidates' religious beliefs.
Yeah, but I would have not been able to live an honest life. And all that kind of stuff.
But I'm straight, white, and male. I'd be fine.
Well, you run with that, Dan. I hope you feel good about yourself.
Well, hey, I didn't choose it.
So,
God just likes me better.
oh God. Well, Dan.
Yeah.
This leads us
to our new segment.
A new segment.
We've got a new segment, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
This is going to be a semi-regular thing, but not every time.
We're not going to. Once you hear what this is, you'll understand why.
Why we can't do
why
this.
Why we're not going to be doing this.
We can't force ourselves to do
every
this
single
regularly.
week. But we're going to try to do it every other week.
We should have had a title for the segment.
Yeah, we don't have one. We'll come up with one. Or
for now,
send us your ideas.
We're tentatively going to call it Church Reviews.
Yep. All right.
Because guess what we did? We went to church.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody, because this is a new segment, I want you all to imagine a pithy, plucky opening theme. Dun, 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 dun. How's that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Cool. Welcome to K2 Church, a young, hip, fun, churchy church. I don't know.
Okay.
So you walk in, you enter the building, and it is, first of all, it's not impressive from the outside.
Okay.
It's a hangar.
Okay.
It's a what would you call that? A warehouse.
It's a warehouse, yeah.
Corrugated metal.
Uh-huh.
And you can choose. Oh, we're presented with a choice.
Right. Oh, yeah, I did like this.
The red box or the white box.
Yeah.
Red box is, in this case, does not mean a place where you rent DVDs.
No, it's nothing like that.
So we chose. Which one did we choose?
We went into the red box.
Right. Because we were greeted so friendlily by a pastor who encouraged us to go in, and his name was Christian. So that's nice.
Apt.
Yeah. I wonder if there are any guys named Christian who are Muslims.
Was his I think Christian though was his middle name. I think his first name was Conservative. Crap. Okay.
All right. So his so we're invited in. We're offered coffee, and it's fun. It's the lobby is decorated very nice. You've got they did a nice thing. They put wooden pallets up on one of the walls as a nice sort of
helped. That helped me get into the mood of
the
warehouse.
It felt young. It felt hip. It felt now. In we walk to the chapel. Is that what we're going to call it?
Sanctuary.
Okay. And it's nice.
Theater space.
The theater space.
Yes.
So we're there, and it's good. It's the set is. It feels like a review. It feels like a sort of like a Christmas special. They've got giant Christmas presents wrapped in paper with ribbons and big. I mean, and we're talking like 12-foot tall things, and they've got silver bells hanging down. And across the stage, and the stage is multi-level sort of thing with the drum set up at the top because this is going to be some rock and roll stuff. And right across the stage on one of the levels, it says the made-up word "Lovolution."
Wait, that's made up? That's not a real word?
The way they spelled it, it was made up.
I don't know. It was in a very convincing sort of Times New Roman font.
It was a lovely font.
Very official. And if I remember, it had sort of that dictionary separation where it has like the dots between the syllables.
Yes, it did.
I think
very
that was
nice.
real.
Okay. So the real word, Lovolution. And we know we're in for some fun.
And it was.
Well, at the beginning. I did want to mention, we sat down. There were two types of seats, the ones at the front and the ones at the back. And I don't think either was an okay choice.
No,
because by the end that seat sucked.
But
so I have to frown on the seats.
Their seats, they did not have good seating. I'm going to say no to the K2 seats.
But the K2 opening band comes out, and bow! Suddenly the lights change, and you've got and it's movable lights with gobos in them, and
it was like theater lighting.
It was like
concert lighting.
It was like concert lighting. That's what it was. Yeah. Most theaters can't afford those lights. Yeah. Well, they can now. I think they're cheaper.
Right.
But in my day,
because
I'm an old man, you couldn't have moving lights. But yeah, and it's all the lights are all moving, and they're changing colors, and they're green, and blah blah blah. And the band comes out, and they play, and it's two guitars and a bass and drums and a flute,
which is a weird choice.
And guess which instrument the girl is playing? Of all of those instruments,
I want to know, like, who did she have to blow to get in that band? For them to let a flute in that band, I'm sorry.
No, a flute is distinctly a nice Christian touch to the rock and roll Christian band.
I don't know. It seemed a little hippy dippy.
Yeah,
I associate I
thought it was used to decent effect. In the band,
you think so?
It didn't feel like it stood out too much. Well, in part because they played a Christmas themed.
That is true.
Song.
Okay, I'll go with you there.
What was it? What Child Is This?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it was.
What Child Is This? But with weird lyrics. They fucked with the lyrics a little bit.
They did screw with the lyrics. Yeah.
And they added a bridge that I've never heard.
That was a completely made up bridge.
Yeah, that was whole cloth.
They got that. I'm sure they didn't write it. They got it from some sort of Christian music service.
You give them no credit, Frank.
I really don't.
Okay.
I have to say, I really don't. I don't think that I doubt that there's much of a that sort of Christian talent pool in Utah.
Well, they were all good musicians.
Yes,
they sounded good.
Okay, yeah.
I thought they sounded good.
They sounded fine.
So we're off to a great start. I thought.
Okay,
and then they sing this song. The lyrics are a little fucked up, but whatever.
But here's the deal. I might sound like I wasn't too into it, but that is what I was there for. I was there for the praise band.
Yeah.
Right?
Or
the faith band, whatever they call the damn thing.
Right.
Like, that's what I was there.
You were stoked.
The lights came on. Well, first of all, the house lights went down.
Yes.
And then the concert lights came on. The music starts going.
It was a Cash Cab-like moment. Bow!
Yeah.
Remember when everybody gets it? No, it wasn't like that. It was a great theatrical. It was how you open a concert.
I was totally into it.
Right. And they play and the play, they played well, but the song was okay, but not great.
Right.
I mean, how rock and roll can you get with that song?
Yeah.
What child is this? He's like with the rock and roll voice, and it's just like, but it worked. I think they pulled it off. I'm going to give them a pulled it off on that.
Yeah.
And then they played a video. They cut from those guys. Right. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
those guys left the stage, and they cut immediately to a video on two screens.
What I was expecting.
Oh yeah,
this is what I was like, oh, I'm totally into this. They're doing multimedia.
They've got an AV club.
Yeah, this is working for me.
And I actually didn't expect that. And up on screens on either side of the stage, there are they play this video, and it's a video that's decently produced, clearly not theirs.
I would say
because it's got a lot of person on the street interviews, and they're all in New York.
That was the dead giveaway.
That seems like the telltale.
Yeah.
And so they're talking about who is Jesus and blah blah blah. The video is okay. It's got some Family Guy clips and some,
which was weird to me,
and some. It went to The Simpsons for a little bit.
Didn't know what to make of it.
The message was unclear.
The
message was unclear, but I thought it was made clear, elucidated by the sermon.
Yes, but while watching it, I was a little baffled, and maybe this is like the whole Mormon thing of like don't be light-minded. Like the Mormons have like a really low tolerance for anything that's sort of irreverent about God and Jesus and all that.
Well, K2 does not share that.
They do not, because there's no way you would get away with showing these Family Guy clips in a Mormon church.
Right.
Or there was there a Simpsons? No, it wasn't.
There was a Simpsons.
There was a Simpsons.
Yeah,
I don't.
there was both.
Okay. Okay, but nonetheless, like, oh no, and there was also what's the one with the little egg-shaped people? South Park. Wasn't that
Oh,
from
it was South Park. I think it was South Park.
Yeah, not the Simpsons.
Not
the
Simpsons. South Park. Yeah.
And
the egg-shaped people.
And yeah, wouldn't fly in a Mormon church.
No,
Never.
not at all.
Never, ever.
But we're not at Mormon church. We're at
I
K2.
know that, but I even though I'm
I know,
atheist, my religious lens is Mormon.
Yeah, and I think that's fair.
And what flies is Mormon.
And just as a quick side note, I hope that people don't think that we harp too much on the Mormon thing. It's just that's our background. That's the lens through which we've always seen. We have to see theater.
Hey, that too.
That too. But church. Anyway, so back to our review. I thought, so after the video, out pops our pastor. Not the pastor that we met, though.
Which was a bummer.
I was disappointed because he seemed like he was going to be. He seemed like a pretty cool cat.
Yeah.
But no, out comes their head pastor, which is one Mr.
I don't remember his name.
No, Dave. I feel like it's Dave Nelson.
Yeah, you're like really close.
It's along those lines.
Yeah.
K2.com or K2thechurch.com or K2thegoogle.com, and you'll find it. Anyway. So he comes out and he's, of course, very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And at first, I bought it.
Yeah.
I will say this. At first, it felt sincere.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he had pumped up the energy, which you got to do. You're putting on a show.
Yeah.
And, the Mormons don't know how to do it, and that's why Mormon church is so intolerable.
Right.
It's so boring.
Right.
But this guy's pumped it up. He's ready to go. And he had me for a little bit. It seemed a little disjointed, his message.
Yeah.
But his presentation was nice. It was nice that when he was calling up scripture, the tech crew was throwing it up on the screens for us to see. I didn't have to whip out my my iPhone to look at my scripture because it was right up there.
Really? Do you have like a...
I have scriptures on the iPhone. Yeah.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Look at you.
No, I mean, it's a big part of my life. These crazy books that other people believe in. It ends up anyway. Neither here nor there. But here, this is the point. They lost me.
Yeah.
Mr. Enthusiasm is talking forever.
Oh Jesus, that thing went on.
Honestly, it was just. I mean, he had me for a while, and I wanted to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
But it just dragged on so long.
Yeah.
They lost me completely.
I got a little sleepy. I got restless. I got really restless.
Oh, yeah.
Because those chairs
were awful. So we're
awful.
By an hour and 20 minutes in, you and I are just shuffling around in our seats like it's going out of style.
Right. And I was trying to be really respectful.
Sure.
Like I tried to keep my posture attentive.
Sure.
Yeah. I never let myself do the thing that I was so willing to do at Mormon church was, kind of put my head down in my hands and forward and
gently cry.
Yeah. Oh.
No. But yeah, I mean, he had me and he lost me. And by the end, he was working so hard to pump this message out and to stay positive and perky that I started to hear vocal cues, vocal evidence that maybe it wasn't as sincere as I thought it was.
Well, the level, I don't doubt that this guy believes this.
Oh no, I don't doubt that at all.
The sincerity of the performance.
Of the performance.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. It stopped feeling so
he wasn't
honest and natural.
Feeling it to the level that he was portraying.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the top of the show I thought he was.
Yeah.
But clearly it was as draining for him as it was for us.
Right.
If not more.
Now, what did you think of I have to say that I spent a lot of time around like born agains and whatnot living in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I kind of had a sense of like what to expect in this and all of that. But like I thought that his call at the end of Come Down and Be Saved
Mm.
was really like, at first I was like, oh wow, I need to stick around for this. I need to see what happens. Nobody went down.
No, and it wasn't a come on, brothers, and
Yeah, it wasn't during the service.
no, it was just like, if you're feeling it and you want to come down and express your love for Jesus afterwards, I'd love for you guys to come down and just I'll pray with you.
And be saved.
Did he say that?
Yes. Yes, he was asking people to come down and be born again.
I don't remember him saying that specifically.
I picked up on it.
It might have been the sentiment, but I don't know. I don't remember him Anyway, you're right that he underplayed that.
Yeah.
Totally. And then, okay, so he gets this sermon together. He finally, is approaching the end. And I was shocked, and I will say it, shocked that we didn't have any music in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It is just music on the bookends.
Yeah.
So out comes the band again, and I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
Finally something perky. And they play the same fucking song.
I know. I was really disappointed.
This time we get to sing along. What the
Consolation
hell?
prize. I mean, yeah, no,
That is
not
just
cool.
poor stagecraft.
It really was, because also what he needed in the middle was some music to get him going.
Yeah.
The energy level of the entire service was
It drained.
it was a mess.
Drained out
It
of
was
there.
really, really, really
And
a mess.
he needed to keep it going because far from being the young, hip, crazy crowd that we were expecting, my gosh, we were two of the youngest guys in there.
Yeah, I know. It was really weird.
It was like 40 plus.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe the white box was a little different. Maybe there was
We don't
more
know.
families or
We don't know.
something in the other building, but
They said there was no difference.
I know.
They when we asked what the difference was, they didn't delineate
Yeah,
any
I
difference
know.
between the red and white
I was really
boxes.
surprised. There didn't seem to be families around, and it did seem to be I'll tell you the impression I got
Okay.
from a lot of sort of especially like the middle-aged people.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be a little down and out.
Oh.
I just got they seemed like I had a
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that?
No. It just seemed like normal sort of maybe not upper I mean, we're not talking about rich people,
No.
but I didn't get a sense of like
I got that the
a
demographic
general down and outness.
Well, maybe not down. Maybe I'm being a little, it was, there weren't like homeless
Right.
people or anything.
No.
But like, it
It seemed
was
like an
really
interesting
interesting.
swath of
The
humanity.
crowd, to be honest,
And I think you should be honest.
it didn't smack of Utah.
No, that's true. It didn't.
Not at all. In fact, the crowd was a collection of people that you don't see congregated together.
I wonder how many
very
Utah
often.
transplants there were. Well, like what the percentage?
I don't know.
Of Utah.
Like, I don't
I'll bet it was
know.
a decent percentage.
Probably, but it was really quite strange, for me. Like it was just kind of kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was like going to a supermarket on Redwood Road. It really was. It was a little strange.
There you go.
So.
Anyway, as far as my review goes, I'm gonna have to say no. Unfortunately, it just it didn't play to its strengths the way it should have. It
Right.
didn't diffuse its weaknesses the way it should have.
Right.
He knew his stuff, but it just in the end it wasn't.
Yeah. So I guess the message here is, if you're looking for a new church in Salt Lake City, we're not going to recommend K2.
No, we're not going to give you the recommendation.
Yeah.
Sorry, K2.
Yeah.
I think
and
they're
has
young and
absolutely
burgeoning.
Nothing to do with theology.
Oh no.
This is just, what is your Sunday experience going to be?
Yeah. This is. I mean, we're yeah.
You show up to church. What are you going to experience?
Because one brand of crazy is the same as the next.
Well, we've talked about that.
Yeah, Shmuley will tell you.
Reverend Shmuley.
Reverend.
Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, he'll say the same thing.
Yeah. So it's all good crazy. It's all good fun.
So anyway, tune in for more reviews as Frank and I check out various
Yeah. Up next, we'll probably go a little bit more traditional.
Yeah, I
in our
think
service.
maybe we'll go like an Anglican or a...
Yeah, especially since we're coming up on
Presbyterian?
Christmas.
Mm.
I could use some, like a good, nice little Jesus sermon.
A nice mass sort of thing.
I don't know that I'm up for a mass in December.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it.
All
Like,
right.
I need mass just when it's mass. I don't need like... And I know that there's more pageantry and everything when it's around a holiday, supposedly. But like, it's going to be packed. And
It is going to be packed.
I'm just not going to be into
Anywhere's going to be packed. This
That's
is
true.
their
Tis the season to be religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, all right, Dan.
Hey, fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks for joining us, everybody.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.